So this week, Packers minicamp is starting tomorrow on Tuesday. If you're watching this on Monday, it starts Tuesday. It will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I believe that fans are allowed to attend on Tuesday and Wednesday. I will not be attending because, as most of you guys know, I live in Texas and I will not be making the trip up for those days. But I will be covering everything that goes down, everything that I see on the interwebs, covering the Packers as I typically do. But I sort of want to talk about a few different things to watch for. One big thing in particular regarding Aaron Rodgers. But it is exciting that, as OTA started, there's actually some football going on. Even though it's like you can't, take too much away from it. Obviously, you can see sort of how players are doing. But it is still a little early to sort of know what's happening. I feel like it's really in training camp that you start to really see the different positional battles start to take place, different players pushing themselves ahead of other players. Not to say it can't happen this week at minicamp, because I definitely think it can, because we're going to see all these players out there, and we're going to see, sort of what they have to offer and how they've developed so far in their offseason. So it is pretty exciting. Before I get into the rest of the video, you guys can tell I said the other day, I'm not holding the mic. Isn't that incredible? I actually got another mic stand because my first one broke. So there's an update there. And so now moving on to the first biggest news, we have Tom Pelissero tweeted earlier this morning, reigning NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers, who didn't attend OTAs, is at Lambeau Field for the Packers' mandatory minicamp this week per source. So this isn't very shocking. Aaron Rodgers did say on the Pat McAfee show about a month or so ago, the day that I believe it was on the day, the draft day, when he was on McAfee's show during the draft special, he did say he would be attending minicamp. So it's not very shocking, but if we look to last year, he didn't attend minicamp, but the Packers and Rodgers were in a completely different situation last year. We weren't sure what Rodgers was going to do. He was very silent for a lot of the, off season, and we weren't even sure, like, leading up to training camp if he would be there, because I remember sitting there waiting the first day as I'm preparing to make some videos. The question was, is Aaron Rodgers going to show up to training camp? Of course, he ended up showing up, and he played the entire season and wins MVP. But it is sort of nice to know that, Rodgers is going to be here at mandatory minicamp. We're not curious and wondering now at this point in the offseason, is Rodgers going to be here? Because luckily, this year he decided a little bit earlier in the offseason. So Rodgers will be here. And so I think with that being the case, with the newest receivers that are here, we'll probably finally get to see how him and some of these receivers, mesh together. Clearly, they're not going to, create an insane connection overnight. It takes time for, any new receiver and quarterback to sort of build that chemistry with each other. But it is going to be fun to see, sort of how he and Christian Watson, connect with each other. Romeo Doubs, Samori Toure, Sammy Watkins, lots of these players who are new here in Green Bay. So I'm excited to see the footage, the highlights coming out of camp, and sort of see which receivers maybe look like they're head and shoulders over the other receivers, because right now there is lots of uncertainty at the wide receiver position, just with all the Davante Adams targets being gone, MVS targets also being gone. There are a lot of targets up for grabs, and I do think Allen Lazard will be able to take a lot of those, Randall Cobb, but then there is some opportunity for Sammy Watkins, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Samori Toure. There's lots of other receivers. We got Juwan Winfrey. Maybe he takes a big step forward this year, considering he's been here in Green Bay a couple of years, and he sort of has at least a little more chemistry with Aaron Rodgers than these other, rookies. So we'll see. It's going to be exciting to see, and that's honestly the biggest thing that I'm excited to watch out for this week, with Rodgers actually being there, so we can sort of see how him and these receivers start to click with one another. And then moving on, some other things. It's sort of similar to, I sort of discussed, I had a video last week or 2 weeks ago, basically talking about the biggest storylines to watch, and lots of these will be the same, just because, they're different positional battles. Obviously, there's always positional battles going on at all times. But I do think, we have clear ideas, at least when it comes to cornerback position. We know the three starters. We got Jair, we got Eric Stokes, and we got Rasul Douglas. One of the best secondaries now, I'd say, in the NFL, if not the best. Those three corners out there, this Packers secondary is going to be very scary. And then moving on, especially to the offensive line, because we saw last week with David Bakhtiari, Matt LaFleur said they're planning on, holding him out for OTAs, and then Matt LaFleur said hopefully David Bakhtiari will be ready for training camp. So, from those comments, I doubt we'll see Bakhtiari, actually getting live reps this week. Maybe he will, but he was doing, rehab work last time. And so that is a little concerning. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Maybe he's ready to go and they just want to hold him out. But at the same time, me personally, I'm like, I hope he's going to be okay. So I know hopefully he'll be okay, be ready to go for training camp. But the rest of this offensive line will be interesting to see, sort of who rises to the top. Will it be some of these rookies like, Sean Ryan, Zach Tom? Just sort of see how this offensive line group comes together and who ends up starting. It's another week to watch that. And then I'd say another positional battle. Watching middle linebackers, Chris Barnes was starting last week. He was taking the first, reps. Quay Walker was behind him. So I'm curious to see, can Quay Walker push himself ahead of Chris Barnes? Honestly, if I had to predict it, I think eventually he will. I don't know how long it'll take because Chris Barnes has been in the system a while, and who knows? Maybe the Packers decide to start off with Barnes and then eventually move on to Quay Walker sometime after the season starts if they think Chris Barnes has a better grasp of the the defense in general, sort of the plays, all that kind of stuff. But who knows? Maybe Quay Walker coming into training camp can slowly push his way ahead of Chris Barnes. That will be another interesting thing to watch. But I'm just excited that things are going down because it's nice when we have some actual, football to dissect. Obviously, it's not a football game, but we can see some plays. You can sort of see these Packers players at practice and, all the different reports that do come out. So it is, exciting to have some actual things to talk about. And then after this week at minicamp, I believe there's one more week of OTAs, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's 1 week. Maybe it's 2, and I'm pretty sure it's 1. I'll have to double check on that one. And then after that, we'll have, a month and a half or so until, training camp starts, most likely end of July. I don't think those official dates have come out yet. But that's, I feel like, when things actually get going. Leading up to the season, the preseason starts, we get to watch all those battles take place and then sort of see, the final 53-man roster, all those different things. So we're slowly getting, closer and closer to the start of the 2022 season, which is going to be exciting. Anytime football comes back after, waiting all those months, it's like, wow, this is amazing. It's amazing we're back, and now we just have a few more months to go until that'll take place. So minicamp begins tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated with all news that I do see, around Twitter and, everywhere. Where I sort of I look at everywhere and see all the news that I can find and bring it to you guys on this channel. So if you guys want to see that, you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I also have a new Instagram account. So in the past, I've linked my personal, but I'm deciding to start a Sideline Scoop Instagram page where I'm going to be posting when I see news. I'll try to post it first there on Instagram on my stories. So if you guys want to get up-to-date news, the second I see it, I'm going to post it on there. So my Instagram is Real Sideline Scoop because someone already had Sideline Scoop, so I was like, what should I do here? So I put Real in front of it. So if you go to Instagram, type in Real Sideline Scoop, it should pop up there. Hopefully you'll see it. And I'm going to try to start putting the news out there first, and maybe I'll put some other videos up there as well, just because my personal, I don't know if I want to start putting stuff out there because it's mainly my friends and stuff. So go follow me there, and I'll link that down below in the description as well. But that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, drop a like on the video. It does help with the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. But that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.